So welcome, Roberta.
Welcome.
Thank
I salute you from my heart. And in the Toltec tradition, we say, I salute you from my face and my heart. That's why this is the sign. This is representing my face, my heart, and my face is representing the outside and my heart, the inside. That's meaning that I salute you with my whole being.
Excellent. That's very beautiful. So now, Soledad, over to you, and please start the webinar. I'm really excited about that, about learning, because I don't know anything about this Neo-Toltec tradition. So Soledad, over to you.
Thank you, Eric, for the opportunity. Hello, everyone on the other side. Welcome again, Roberto, brother. Thank you. Do you have, Roberto, correct me, please, if I'm wrong. Do you have in the Toltec tradition also another salutation? I think is referring to the reflection and how we see each other in other reflection. Could be something like I am another you and you are another me. That is from the Toltec tradition also?
Sure, yes. It's the same thing. Because first of all, you have to know that I'm just still going to give you a brief explanation about it. What is a Toltec? Toltec is not a tribe, or is not just a culture. It's a lifestyle. A Toltec could be whatever or whoever you wanted. A Toltec could be a Mayan, an Aztec, an Hopi, an Sassy, Cherokee, whatever you want to call them. Actually, today it could be an Australian, and Spanish, a German, Chinese, because it's a spiritual grade. So this is the way to express that lifestyle in our culture, to say Toltec. So basically, Toltec means people that live from their hearts and from their own experience. That's what a Toltec is, a real meaning of Toltec. So it's a spiritual grade. So this is very important that you just to say it, because that's the concept that they have about everything. Our ancestors, not just here in Mexico, around the planet, the original cultures around the planet, they knew how to interact with the energy and how to live in this plane and how to manipulate our reality. And the best thing to do it is to realize that we are fractals from the source. So that's why we don't have the concept of gods. That's a very stupid thing that Christianism brought to America. And for sure, they start to compare that, okay, if we have a god of virgins, an empire in Europe, for sure in America they have the same concept. No, but that's not the same concept here. We didn't have those concepts here. So basically, in the religion concept, we used to see us like one expression. No, well, from one source, from multiple expressions in fractals. So that's why you don't have the concept of inferior or superior. So that's why we used to say hello in that way, the reflection that I am you, you and me. We are all together, like the Beatles song.
Roberto, before diving into the Toltec wisdom more, I would like to ask you like a first personal question for that we can learn a little bit more about your beginnings on your path, to put it in those terms. I have heard you comment in another interview that you had the opportunity to live in the middle of the jungle in Guatemala. So just briefly, if you want to share with us, what changed for you going into that experience, and what have you taken back with you coming out from that experience, especially going back to the civilization, to the society?
For me, it was a really big change, because at that point I could realize the real experience living in nature, in contact with nature. That experience was in 2012. Remember that the Mayan thing, that the end of the world, stupid thing, but I was there and I was very lucky to find these guys, the Mayan teachers, that they invite me to spend a season with them, experiencing and learning from them, from all the knowledge, and living in the most savage way to live. No, but that's the real way to live that we have to return. Actually, the word hippie comes from, I don't remember the language from Europe, but hippie means a free human being, or natural human being. The real one is not that the concept that we have, the hippie that's smoking marijuana. No. This is the same concept here, that we used to live in nature, almost naked, and sharing everything with the environment and experiencing the real thing, that no electricity, no modern things. And for me, it was very shocked, because I used to live in the modern way of the civilization, but that experience changed my mind, or blow my mind also, and start to see a lot of things that they're about energy, that all those things clear, because we have a lot of veils and concepts and programs that they are blocking
I
us.
think we have a problem.
And that experience for me was amazing, because I started to realize that
yeah, Roberto, we have some connection problems.
You are mute, Eric. You are mute.
How is it now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we had some connection
so
problems.
Sorry for the connection, because I am almost in nature here. The internet is not that good, but I'm gonna try it anyway. But sorry, but I can do anything more, because this is the concept here in.
Okay, that's fine.
Maybe then we can try to
to
not use the camera. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it will help, but yeah, let's go on. We can hear you now, Robert.
Okay, sure. Well, that's the point. Returned to nature again. That's the real mission from the real humans, connected beings now. Return to our true nature and start to live from inside to outside. And to achieve that, or to accomplish that, we have to achieve our self-transformation. And the main thing to do it is clean our physical body, detoxify our body, because this is our instrument that we are using in this 3D reality in order to move here. So the avatar is very important, because we can't skip the rules of the density of the 3D, of the physical realm. And that's why we are paying the cost to break the nature laws and start to fantasize with new age concepts of energy. And now we are going to pass to the 5th dimension, and you don't have to do anything, just meditate and that, blah, blah, blah. No. That's not the real thing. The real thing is a very hard work, especially in these modern times, because we are surrounded by a lot of toxins and poisons around us. So now it's very important. And now we can see the alarms around the planet, that for me is the most dangerous age that we are living, because you don't have to be very wise to see that the planet is not running well. We have a very serious health problem, since a lot of years ago, not just from this for these modern times. We have a lot of obesity, no vitality, cancer, diabetes, whatever you want to call any disease. And now humans are living with no consciousness, and that's a real mission, to clean our body in order to get rid of our mind and emotions. That's why we are using this bandana, because this bandana is going to remember us that we have to get out or shut down the mind in order to return to our heart, because this is duality. Here is just unity, one. And the heart is the boss. Is the main coil that we have, but it's not working well in the right pulse or the right wave. So we are just working with the mind, and the mind is just electricity. Here is magnetism, is the real thing. Here is the illusion, because light is the illusion. Actually, the word illusion comes from light, luz. In Spanish, it's luz, ilusión. It's a matrix, it's the illusion. So that's why we have this stupid mind controlling us all the time. And who is controlling mind? Here, your gut. Because your gut is full of parasites and fungus, and those are controlling this through the nervous, the vagus nervus, and is sending electrical impulses, and is creating the emotion. So the emotion then is going to return and to create these problems that we are living now, based in the paradigms that are also in the programs. That's why we call programs, because the mind could be programmed, because it's like a software, but it's not ours. Actually, in the Castañeda books, they mention that Juan Matus is the shaman, the teacher of Carlos Castañeda, and he said, the predator gave us its mind in order to force us or make us to play its game. And that's the real problem, that we are living from here, not from here. So if you want to shut down mind, you have to clean your gut, your bowels, and also your blood. Your blood, you have to, because now the mother blood of the mother humanity is very thick, especially with the, the things that they are putting in these modern times. But not just with, of course, because of that, because the diet that we are taking or we are ingesting. Actually, diet is an anagram. In English, it's very clear, because diet, if you eliminate the T, what we get? Die. So we are dying because we are eating. So that's the main and the first paradigm that that the system made us believe that we need to eat to survive, and that it's not true. That's a belief. That's why in the Toltec tradition we don't believe. We do know, or we do not know, but we never go, because it's going to it's like an inception that is going to insert in your mind, and you're going to provoke more with the mind, no? Because to believe is to create. So the real thing is not belief, is to experience. So go and experience by yourself. That's why I expressing and sharing this, because this is my lifestyle. I'm speaking through my experience, not because I just have read a book and I said, okay, this is beautiful. No, because this is my lifestyle, and I could prove that we don't need anything to thrive in this reality. Actually, we are autonomous, self-sufficient beings, because we are made of energy, and we are made of atoms. We are made of cells, and those components they don't need to eat. So if we pass that through the major fractal, it's the same as within, so without. So that's why we don't need to eat. The problem that we are eating because we are very hard parasites, and the parasites are asking for food, are asking for drink, are asking for sex also. And they are going to manipulate the mind in order to get the thing that they need to thrive inside of you. But as soon as you start to eliminate those parasites and fungus, all those desires start to dissolve and everything, and the calm returns to you. And also your soul is going to take again the control of the avatar, because now the avatar is controlled by those parasites and the mind. And then you start to reverse everything and start living from your soul and your heart, from unity, not from duality. Because now we have to remember, not to learn, because we already used to know this, just we have forgotten. But now is the time to remember. Actually, remember in Spanish and Latin, we say recordar, recordar. Recordar means recordis, cordis, core, cardio. So it's recordar, remember means go back to your heart. This is a real memory, not this. And the memory is here. But you can listen to your heart, because we are surrounded with a lot of noise. And that noise, I'm talking about literally the outside noise, and also the inner noise. And that noise is the inner voices that we are listening the parasites that is ascending. Okay, eat this, I need pizza, I need beer, I need meat, I need sex, I need that chocolate, blah, blah, blah. It's stimulus, and they are going to trigger or start those triggers in order to get that things that they wanted. So that's why all the ancient cultures around the planet, they were naturists, all of them. And here in the Toltec traditions, they are high naturists, attached and following the principles of nature. And they were living in ascetic way of an ascetic lifestyle. Then the Ayurveda, the Hermetism, the Senian culture, the Catharism, all those cultures, they were high naturists, and they suppress the pleasures of the matrix. And the main one, if you want to control your hunger, your thirst, and sex, you can control everything. So that's the main thing, that's why the system is bombarding us with those distractions, because we are very talking about humanity. You know? We are now very empty inside. We are feeling a spiritual emptiness. That's why we have to look for something outside in the shape of food, sex, drink, whatever. But as soon as you start to realize that you have everything inside, and you start to fill up that spiritual connection, because actually spirit means to breathe. That's the main thing, inspiration, and also means connection, like the Wi-Fi. So we don't have the real connection with the source. We have the connection with the programs of the matrix, and also the connection with the parasites. So fasting is the best way to start to kill your parasites, because you are not going to feed them anymore. And when you start to practice, because fasting is not just a practice or a diet. When you start to change your diet, that's the correct way to start. Because a diet is going to start one day and end another day. Because most of the people say, okay, I'm just going to start this diet for a month, or I'm going to just fast for 24 days, no, or hours, no, this is a lifestyle. It's not just for a short period of time. This is something that is have to continue. And then the practice is going to create a master. There is no another way to accomplish your self-transformation if you don't clean your body and start to detoxify, eliminate mucus, also fats, toxins, and fungus. And the best way to do it is start to get in the fasting lifestyle that whole ancient cultures used to practice. And actually in the Toltec tradition, that practice, we used to call it chipagua. Chipagua means purification and transparency. And they were very high, stricted, ascetic human beings. And that's why they could achieve things that now we think that they are supernatural actions. But no, it's just the original potential that we have asleep because we are very high intoxicated. But as soon as you start to leave behind those toxins and poisons and parasites, and of course, shut the mind, you're going to realize that we are the magicians of or the creators of our own reality, because we can move energy, and also we can create fine energy. This is another very crucial part of the Toltecayot. Toltecayot is our philosophy. Toltecayot means the essence of the Toltec. Toltecayot is the parallelism of Tao in China, Zen in Japan, Ayurveda in India. Here in America, we call it Toltecayot, the art of good living. So the main thing of Toltecayot is to create fine energy, manipulate it, and save it. Save it is the main thing. And because we are wasting that energy all the time, especially eating, fornicating, talking, blah, 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 chatting, and doing a lot of stupid things that we have been programmed to perform in this illusion. But when you start to realize that you are a magician, that you can create your own reality, but you need that energy in order to create that reality. Otherwise, it's impossible. That's why we are looking for outside. But at the moment that you realize that everything is inside and you can manifest everything, but you need the energy. And that's the main thing that we have to remember and start to practice. Save energy, create your own energy, and save and distribute that energy in the proper way. That's why the Toltec elders created some movements that we call magic passes. The magic passes is the similar like Tai Chi or Qigong in China. It's the same thing because America and Asia, they used to be the same civilization. Actually, you can tell in the people from those continents, the real ones, because now I'm more European, as you can tell. But the real Mexicans, the real Peruvians, the real Bolivians, the real North Americans, Canadians, if you compare them with Polynesians, with Filipinos, with Chinese, Thailand, Siberian, they look the same. Also, they have their eyes like this. Just the difference is the color of the skin. Here in America, they're red. In Asia, they are yellow. But we have the same alma mater. In Latin, we say the same context. The problem here in America, we have forgotten everything because the Inquisition, when the European invasion came, we forgot everything. But now we are remembering. We have the same yoga, and also we have Toltec yoga. We have meditation techniques, the Qigong, Tai Chi, everything in Asia, acupuncture. We have everything that in Asia they have. But now we are remembering, we are starting to practice again, and we perform those magic passes in order to move the energy, extract the energy from the earth, and return it and interact with everything. And that's the way thing to feed your body and also be in contact with nature. This is the real and the original food of human beings is in nature. When we are grounding or earthing, we are receiving the energy, the vibration of the earth, and also we are receiving minerals, and we are eliminating the electrification of the atmosphere that is very high, especially in those modern times, because we are surrounded by a lot of radio frequencies that they are affecting our electromagnetic field. As soon as we start to earthing, we are going to eliminate that electricity, and we are going to eliminate also the inflammation of our organs, and we are receiving food from our feet. And also the main food is not physical food, is spirit, is air. If you don't believe me, just block your nose and tell me how much can you last without breathing. So we are living because we are breathing, not because we are eating. And then water, and everything is water in this planet. Actually, this planet, the real name of this planet has to be water, no earth, matter, no? It's gas, liquid, solid, and plasma. So the air is water, and the environment is surrounded by water. So we are receiving water all the time. And also when we jump into the ocean and the lakes, rivers, we are drinking. So basically we don't need to drink something outside because we are receiving the 4 elements around us all the time. So that's the real thing about this, and how the ancient cultures, they knew very well about this, and they left this information in order to the new generations start to remember and start to practice this lifestyle.
Beautiful. Totally in agree with you, Roberto, about everything. Just going from the carbon body to the silicon body, you know, and remember who we are really in essence. I want to ask you about the experience of the Temazcali that you call the house of medicine. I think it's a very powerful practice, and if you can tell us how is the process, the purpose of the practice, and which are the benefits, and what can we come to understand through doing this experience, through having this experience. Sorry.
Well, Temazcali means the house of steam, because basically Temazcali is a sweat lodge, but it's not just like that, no? It's not like a regular sauna. It's a religion experience. It's a very high consciousness experience, but basically it's a hygiene bath. Actually, all the entire cultures around the planet, they practice saunas. No, we know that. Why? Because I told you, our ancestors knew that we need to detoxify our body, and the best way to do it is to sweat, because the skin is the biggest organ that we have, and it's the best way that our system is going to eliminate those toxins, by sweating. That's why we use saunas and sweat lodge, in order to sweat, because when we eliminate physical toxins, we're going to eliminate mental toxins, because you have to realize and understand these, brothers and sisters. This is very important, because this is another deception that the New Age and the psychological thing, that they think everything is psychosomatic. No, everything begins, I told you, from the physical principle realm. So toxins create emotions. And how I'm going to prove this? okay, if you drink a shot of tequila, it's going to change your behavior. Yes or not? Yes, no? Or if you drink a cup of coffee or a line of cocaine, it's going to change your behavior. And actually, when you go to the hospital and they put you a sedate something, they're going to sleep you. And you are going to sleep like this because the chemical, not just because they, okay, you're going to meditate and you're going to say to your mind that you're going to get sleep and blah, blah, blah. No, they need to use chemicals because we are chemical beings also. That's why the system is taking a lot of energy in order to poison us with chemtrails and fluor and all the poisons that we are surrounded. Otherwise, they don't need to do that because they want to say, okay, you just push the button and program their minds like this. No, they need to prepare the terrain with those poisons, especially with heavy metals. Heavy metals are the hackers that they are controlling and programming our mind, because heavy metals are like antennas moving like this, receiving all the information from outside, especially from the astral realm. The astrology, that's why we need to know about astrology, because astrology is the first program that we receive as soon as we born. Why? Because we have mind like this, like antenna, like open antenna, and full of heavy metals. And actually heavy metals are the favorite food of parasites. That's why we are eating a lot of heavy metals from a lot of sources. So that's why we have to eliminate those heavy metals by sweating. Now, especially in these modern times, because now in these modern times, there's another very dangerous thing that we have to know and realize, that we are now living in the plastic world. Everything is made of plastic, and plastic have hormonal disruptors. They are disturbing our hormonal equilibrium. Everything is made of plastic. As soon as we burn, the babies is going to receive, the bottle of plastic, toys made of plastic, actually furniture is made of plastic, chairs, tables, everything, even clothes made of petrol, of plastic. So actually the whole water of the planet now is, how do you say this, is in plastic, in bottle of plastics, plastic bottles. So we are drinking plastic, petrol, especially when the sun is going to reflect the heat or give the heat. All those components of the oil, the petrol, is going to integrate to the water. So we are drinking shit, actually, dead waters. And all the food we are saving in plastic molds or recipients. So that's why we have to start to eliminate. Actually, that's the first fasting that you have to practice, the chemical fasting, eliminating all those toxins from your life forever. Plastic, shampoos, toothpaste, deodorants, what else? Everything that we are using to clean our houses, soap, liquids, and of course pesticides. Start to eat organic food and eliminate that toxins from your life forever. That's the first mission that you have to do it if you want to start to detoxify your body. And then, of course, practice saunas regularly, because we have to eliminate those toxins by sweating. And the best sauna that you can practice is the red light dry sauna. The dry sauna is the most efficient because it's going to force your body to sweat by itself. because the other one that we use in the Temazcali is we're using water, no? The steam, and also it's very powerful. But the steam is going to take you more gentle in order to sweat. But the other one, the dry one, no, it's forcing your body to eliminate those toxins from inside, and also using the infrared light is more powerful because it's going to eliminate inflammation and multiple things. Actually, in the Temazcali, we heat up the stones, the volcanic stones, in fire, and in order to turn them into red ones, as if so, because we want to receive the infrared emission from the rocks, because we need that therapy. That's why we practice Temazcali. And then Temazcali is a religion experience because it's not just like I'm just going to get into the sauna 15 minutes and that's okay. No, here is almost 2 hours inside of the Temazcali experience, because it's a experience that you need to get into the representation of the Mother Earth's womb in order to fertilize yourself inside. It's a psychomagic ritual because we are going to return to our mother's womb because we have the same conditions there. It's dark because it's dark. The Temazcali is dark. It's wet and is hot or warm. Sometimes hot, but warm. So it's the same condition that we have in our mother's womb. So that's why we are going to fertilize ourselves. And also we are going to, by the experience, to see how the formula of life is performing in front of our eyes, because the formula of life is water, feminine, heat, masculine. When you combine both, we're gonna get a third force, child. That child is steam, vapor. So it's a synthesis of the duality. That's why we are going to create a third force, triangle, that we can find act of transformation. It's a synthesis of energy that from two create a better version of those two energies, lighter, and it's going to ascend because steam is lighter and it's going to ascend. So every human being that is going to enter to the Temazcali experience has the mission to ascend and become lighter of toxins and physical things that we're going to eliminate all skin and exfoliation, and also lighter of emotions, because it's dark there. We are going to speak from our hearts because nobody's going to judge you or see you because it's dark. That's why you have to speak from your heart, because inside we enter to the Temazcali to sing, to perform some catharsis, like to sing, to cry, to yell, and also to speak, to liberate. And with the heat, it's going to motivate you to release everything that you need to leave behind there. So that's why it's a very cool experience, because a holistic experience. But the main thing I told you is to eliminate physical toxins. And the formula of life, we have that in our bodies too. Because we are a body, like you told you before, that we are crystal beings. We are not made of carbon. That's another deception. We are made of silicon. Because carbon, you can break it. And we don't break it that easy. Of course, we have a little bit of carbon. And also we are carbonizing our body in the way that we are living, because we are eating cooked food, is carbon food, is dead food. drinking carbonate drinks like Coca-Cola, alcohol, and all the things that we are carbon, also breathing no, how do you say this? Hydrocarburos, no, I don't know, or petrol, no, we are breathing carbon also. But we have to realize that we are made of crystals. It's not just a metaphorical way to say it, because we are made of minerals. Our minerals are crystals. That's why we have the concept of Christos, Christ in English, crystal, because come from crystal. It's another fractal in India that's Krishna. Krishna means crystal. Quetzalcoatl here in Mexico, it's the same thing. It's not a human being that came to save us, and that's a stupid thing. We are those crystal beings, but we forgot because we are made of minerals. So that's why we are made of water. And our waters are made of the complete minerals of the periodic table. We are sea water. We are a fractal from the sea, from the ocean. We are a small droplet that contains everything, all the minerals inside of us. That's why if you try your sweat, you're going to tell that it's salty, because we are made of minerals, because minerals are high conductors of energy. So that's why we have to realize that we are crystal beings. We have to return in another update version of ourselves, that we used to be full crystals, silicon beings made of silicon. So we have to return to the diamond shape, because now we are descending to the carbon shape. And now with the concept of transhumanism, they try to blend or mix technology, machinery with humans. So that's the last part of this plan, no? So that's why we have to go back to the inverse and return to our true essence, that we are crystal beings, resonating, because crystals, quartz, has a vibration. They are emitting frequencies, the right frequencies. Actually, all kind of device that we are using in the modern times, they need a crystal, a quartz, in order to make them work. Your telephones, your laptops, computers, TVs, whatever you want to create in these modern times, we need crystals, we need quartz. That's the key to make them work. So basically we are the same, because all the technology that we're using outside was copied from our body, because our body is the perfect machine, the biological machine. So that's the formula of life. We are made of water, that we have a temperature water, and when correct water is not thick, and actually our blood is also our water. So now the blood is getting thicker and thicker and dirty, and we are not high. We don't have the correct conductivity in our system, because also we are moving magnetism and electricity that is going to provoke some chemical reactions. And then the correct wave from the pulse of our heart is going to synchronize everything, because the heart is the main coil that synchronized everything. This is the original pulse that is going to give, in another fractal way, the right frequency to the other organs. That's what we call organ, like an instrument, because we are producing sound. We are made of sound. We are music, because we are living in a universe, one verse, one sound. Actually, the things that we call the source or the great spirit, is made of sound, not light. Light is the illusion. So we are made of sound. Everything's provoking a sound, a frequency, expressing a frequency, vibrating. Now in this 3D, we are experiencing the most, or the lowest waveform that was expressed in a snake. So if you see around the planet, when you see a snake around the planet, around all the cultures around the planet, when you see a snake, they are expressing a waveform, a transversal waveform that is going to decay and death, and is dual, positive, negative, positive, negative. That's why we are living in this matrix that is duality. Here, mind, the illusion. So we have to return to the original waveform that is radiant, that is come from the heart, and that expands, never die. Energy never die, end. That's the real meaning of end. And it's like the ripple effect. It's a spiritual waveform. It's not the material and illusion transversal waveform. So that's why the serpent, the snake, represents that waveform. And why the snake? Because the snake is going to drag, and it has limited vision. So, and also in the Toltec tradition, the snake represents the earth, the density that we have to overcome with our self-transformation in order to elevate your energy, your frequency, change them in a subtle way, and ascend in frequency, because I told you we have to think about, if you want to understand the universe, you have to know about everything is made of sound, expressing frequencies that provokes magnetism, and that magnetism is going to provoke electricity and energy. So this is it's not a metaphorical process, it's a real one process, an alchemical process that you have to take or consider, that you have to know the right frequencies. That's the path of Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl means the feather snake, because it's not a god, or that stupid concept that now the system are teaching or saying about the ancient tradition. No, it's just Quetzalcoatl means also evolution, the evolution of the real beings, the crystal beings, because we have to come from the serpent, from the snake, and pass to the eagle. That's why we have feather snake, because that waveform, you have to put beautiful feathers in order to elevate and change that frequency in a higher one, in a subtle one. It's a beautiful metaphor that the mission that we have to achieve here in order to accomplish our self-transformation. So your body represents also snake, because everything has the shape of a snake. Everything, our intestine, bowel, your veins, everything has made, we are reptilians also. It's true. We are made of that. If you check everything, the sperm is like a snake. Now everything, our hair is like a snake. We have reptilian DNA also. So that's why we have to overcome that in order to pass out the real beings that we used to be, the crystal ones. That's why you have to transform that Quetzalcoatl, and then pass from the limited vision that you are dragging. And now you are going to fly like an eagle, free, powerful, sovereign, and with the domain of the terrain and a 360-degree sight. Because eagle and the falcon, they are the two animals that they have the best vision in the animal kingdom. So that's why we have to understand that metaphor. We have to have the fine vision to see clear outside, but not just outside. The main thing is inside. See and observe yourself. Stalk. That's why we call in the Toltec tradition stalking. You have to stalk yourself. While stalking, see your behavior and change the thing that is not positive in your life. And that steam in our body, to finish the concept, I told you we are made of water, but that water needs to be clear and also purified and running because when we have stock water, we have like a puddle, it's going to create fungus, algae, mosquitoes, whatever you want to, putrefaction. So actually, that's why our bodies are creating putrefaction inside. That's why most of the people are, the smell of that people is terrible because their waters are not running well. So that's why our waters needs to be running and clear, and also our blood. And also we need to have the right temperature. I don't know in Fahrenheit. I don't know if you handle Fahrenheit, but in Celsius is 36 Celsius. And when we combine both, we're gonna get the third force, the synthesis. That is that steam in nature that moves everything, and also is the real fuel of the. That's why we have a potential hydrogen pH. That's why we have the pH in our body. Because depends your hydrogen is going to reflect your vitality in your life. So if you are acidic or alkaline, it's not good. We have to be neutral, knowing the extremes, neutral, the center, equilibrium. Our pH is 7.4. It's neutral. It's not acidic, it's not alkaline, neither alkaline. So that's the real secret of this alchemy. So that concept in the Toltec tradition, we call it ometeot. Ometeot means dual trinity energy. It is the synthesis of life. From two, becoming one, the synthesis, the unity again. From here, go back here. And that's the thing that you have to perform every day in your life in order to achieve that alchemic process in your life, keeping your inner waters clean, keeping the right temperature, and keeping your right hydrogen or potential hydrogen inside of you, because the potential hydrogen is going to create the right voltage of the electricity in your cells. And then the magnetism is going to align again everything, and the pulse of the heart is going to synchronize everything again. Otherwise, we are out of sync. We are out of tune, because also we are like an instrument. We need to tune our system. And when depends the degree of that distortion is going to project some disease in your matter. And actually that disease is not a bad thing, because it's how your body is going to tell you that is something is growing, it's wrong inside of you. But the regular people start to get in panic, and they start, I'm make a stupid thing that they don't are going to help them, and they are going to create more problems, because we are just sedating our body. We are not fixing everything. So we have to say thank you to that disease, because it's coming to show you that you need to fix something inside you. And also another illness are mechanism of cleansing mechanism. Like a flu, you need to get rid of mucus. Like a fever, diarrhea, vomit. So they are defense mechanism that your body needs to perform in order to clean itself, because this machine, biological machine, is very wise, and it's going to cure itself. Just let it do its work. Don't give more work taking pills and and other things. And the real medicine is inside of you, is your body. That's why in the Toltec tradition we say this, like, and remember this like a mantra. I am my own war, I am my own medicine. Because it's literally, I am my own war because I came here to fight against this, against the parasites. And then I have my own medicine inside me. In the best medicine, we have two medicines that now they are the most ignorant medicines, because we know that the system is not going to tell you, because both are free and very easy to perform. That is fasting and urine therapy. Urine therapy is your best medicine also, because it's your own plasma you are drinking with your own information. It's like a very high plasma serum that is going to recover your balance. And fasting is the best medicine that we have. So remember, I am my own war, I am my medicine.
Okay, Roberto. So let's open the microphones to the questions, because you have given us lots of information. So Soledad,
Sure.
Just take the questions from now on. So guys, if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask. Yeah, Soledad, if there is no questions, you can just ask your next question.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you, Roberto, how is your nowadays? How is your relationship or your connection with food? And in which other ways you energize yourself or you nourish yourself in your daily life today, no? After all your experience.
Can you repeat it? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, it's okay. Nowadays, after all your experience, how is your relationship or your connection with food? And in which other ways you nourish yourself or you energize yourself?
Well,
in personal, in your daily basis.
Yeah. I'm going to answer that. But first, we have to realize that nourishment doesn't exist. Nothing is going to nourish yourself. That's a deception. That's bullshit. Nothing outside is going to give you nothing, because we don't need nothing. We are self-sufficient. We don't need proteins. We don't need vitamins. We don't need minerals. Nothing. And it's proven, because there are a lot of breatharians. So this is not a concept, a crazy concept. So the thing that this system have created those programs in order to scare you that, oh, you need proteins, you need minerals, vitamins, blah, blah, blah. No, we don't need nothing. Nothing is going to nourish your body, but your own energy. That's why you have to save energy. You have to save energy. We have to start to eliminate the things that they are making this life. We have to know that less is more. So
first we have to empty ourselves, no? The first step to empty.
Sure. Empty yourself from your programs, your beliefs. That's the main thing. That we are not made to eat just a belief, a program. Of course, this is going to kill a process right now. No, it's a process that we have to follow, because we have to detoxify our body first, because otherwise your own toxins are going to kill you. No the initiation of no food, because fasting is medicine. But of a lot of toxins, so those toxins and poisons are going to start to get out from your system. But the problem here is that our organs have limits to control those toxins. Your liver has limits. Your pancreas has limits. So if you are going to surpass those limits, you're going to create more problems. So that's why, I don't know, if your liver just can't take 3 bags of garbage or trash, and you're going to give it 5, it's going to be negative. You're going to saturate your organs and create more problems. That's why we have to, because we are different. We have in a different level of toxins or intoxication level. That's the only difference between human beings, because inside we are the same. Outside we are different. Blacks, white, yellow, and red. We are different. We have differences. But inside we have the same system. We have just one stomach, one liver. No, we have the same system. So the only difference is the level of poison that you have inside. So that's why you have to observe yourself and listen to your body. And don't run, don't rush. There is no rush. Start to detoxify your body step by step, step by step, step by step. And when you start to eliminate those toxins, now you're going to start to perform these lifestyles and practice more long fasting process. And for me, the process is like this. First of all, you have to change your diet. I told you the first fasting is the chemical one. Eliminate those toxins in your house, in your body. And then, of course, processed food, plastic, packed food, also cans, all the toxins around us, you have to start to eliminate forever. And then you have to change your diet, become a vegetarian, and then you have to pass to vegan, raw vegan, and that fruits, juices, and then you're almost ready to eliminate all kind of food. But it's a process, I told you, it's a process. And then the process of the masters is like, first of all, you have to stop eating, then stop drinking, then stop sleeping, and the last one, stop breathing. And when you stop to breathe, you're going to change your frequency, and you're going to change your matter into something subtle. So you're not going to be here anymore. You're going to ascend. That's the real process of the new humans, that we are here in order to perform the metamorphosis. But I told you, it's an individual process. But first of all, like you told us before, you have to empty yourself from those programs. You don't need anything. Now, food, we are using food as as a proof, because food, especially raw food and vegetables, we are using in order to cleanse, because they are going to sweep all those toxins from our intestine and bowels and the gut. Because you have to realize that health begins in your gut. So the first mission is to cleanse your gut with fastings and the special diet, and also with enemas or hydrocolon therapies. You have to cleanse the body regularly. and cleans the gut, eliminates that shit that we are carrying. And then the food is going to allow you to eliminate and sweep with those toxins and fecal matter inside of you. That's why we are using food, not for nourishment doesn't exist, I told you, just for clean the body. And also to take the process, because I told you we are very addicted to food. So that's why we have to perform this process step by step. And it's going to take a while to leave behind that addiction to food. Or it's just a process. So now in my case, my lifestyle is I practice 40 hours fasting every week. I start from Sunday, like 6 p.m., and I break fast until Tuesday, like 3 p.m., 4 p.m., more or less. Since 6 years ago, I practice that fasting. And I just eat one meal per day at between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. And basically I eat raw food and fruits, mono diet. And also I don't like to create mixes, crazy mixes. When I prepare a salad, I just try to mix 3 or 4 ingredients maximum. But when I eat fruits, just 1 fruit per meal. And also the fruit from the season. In winter, we have citrus, oranges, mandarins, lemons, and other fruits from forest. And now, because I live in the tropical zone, I have papayas, coconuts, jackfruits, pineapples, watermelons, whatever, mangoes. Now we are in the season of mango. Here where I'm living, I have trees of mangoes for free, and I collect them, and I love to eat some mangoes. But actually, I eat very, very few. And also I perform through the seasons, different days of fasting, no? 3 days, 7 days, 11, 21. And the last one I made is the 40 days fasting. This is my largest fasting that I ever practiced, 40 days, just 3 months ago. And for this year, I'm going to practice another 40 days fasting, maybe in autumn. Basically, this is my lifestyle. I practice intermittent fasting all the time. Actually, I fasting 20 or 22, 24 hours every day. And I start to eat just for dinner and a few things, and that's it. Because and also I practice urine therapy, and when you drink your urine, it's going to help you.
So how long have you been living this way? Like, I mean, eating one meal a day on fruits and, fasting in this way. How long have you been living like that?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. I can hear you. I just asked, how long have you been living like that? This similar lifestyle of eating one raw meal a day and fasting in the way you have just described. How long have you been living like that?
About 15 years ago, in my process, but in the actual lifestyle, 5 years, like practicing the things that you just told me. 5 years just eating one meal and fasting regularly. But my process begins 15 years ago.
Very interesting. Okay.
And Roberto, you are trying a sleep deprivation also, no? You are starting to try this. Well, they call it a sleep sleep deprivation, I think is the concept in English.
Right.
They call it like that. You are starting like practicing with this, or any kind of new practice that you are just starting to.
Not really yet. Not really yet. I have heard about it. I told you that when I made a 40 days fasting, I almost sleep 3 hours maximum, and just one day I didn't sleep at all, and what was cool. But I know I wasn't aware about it. I just found this information that is also part of the process, and I say, okay, this has sense, because when we are fasting, we don't get tired, and also we have full of energy. So that's another deception, that we need to sleep. Of course, in the modern situation that human beings are, we need to sleep. We hope it's because we are like a computer. We have to reset the computer every day, every night. We have to reset the system. And actually, we are practicing 8 or 7 days fasting every day when we are sleeping, and also a dry fasting. And if we don't sleep that or perform that dry 8 hours fasting, I think the human beings, they start to die at the age of 20, 25 in the lifestyle that we are following, no? Because we are eating a lot of shit. So see how the fasting, how is powerful this fasting just when we are sleeping. So that's why we are sleeping, and now it's necessary. But when you start to move in another frequencies, you're going to start to realize and experience that practice is not going to be necessary anymore, because you are full of energy and you're connected with yourself. So that's for me, it's gonna be the next step. Start to practice not to sleep, and start to see and observe my reaction, and start to experience that.
Now, so that we have a question in the chat, you can just read it, the second one.
Yeah, it's Chris, no? It's asking, do you think that the detox path is also possible near the toxic cities?
For sure, it's gonna be more difficult, but it's not impossible. But because the temptations are there, no, we know that it's gonna be harder. But in that case, I recommend you that go and look for some retreats or go to nature if you are not able to overcome those temptations. But the thing is that at some point you have to be able to perform that lifestyle wherever you are. No, that's the real control of the energy in your life. So for me now is the thing. I could be in a city and I can control everything because I surpassed those proofs. But if you are a beginner, for sure, I know it's going to be hard, but in that way you have to look for some retreats or go to vacations 1 week in the forest, the mountain, the beach, whatever you want. You want to perform a long period of fasting days. Yeah, I recommend that escape from those temptations that you are involved living in a city.
It's all in the mind anyway. It's just a mind game. Obviously, it's going to be more difficult in the cities, but it's a challenge. I think we have to take it as a challenge.
For sure.
No, and to learn to be in the matrix
sure.
without being part of the matrix, and to be living in a city is part of a bigger challenge. Just like that. I don't know. in the meantime, we are.
Yeah, for sure.
That is your desire, obviously. If your desire is to go to live on in nature, in the meantime, in the process, you have to just accept where you are, and then all it will came, and other people just like to live in the cities, and it's just a challenge, an extra challenge. I don't know, Eric, if you have any other question, because
Yeah,
I mean, if it is for me, I can continue with Roberto.
Yeah, guys, first of all, let's see if we have any questions from the audience, guys. So if you have any questions, just unmute yourself and ask. And if not, Soledad, you can just continue, no problem. Okay, no questions for now, so you can just ask, of course. Yeah.
No, Roberto, I just wanted to ask you about, I heard you in another video talking about the scalar energy, how we can use that knowledge to become self-sustainable. Also to use our energy, how to, because when I asked you before about the nourish, I was referring in the inner nourish, you know what I mean? How we can learn to move our energy or to connect with our energy in order to be self-sustainable.
Well, scalar energy is the main thing of everything, that our body is producing that energy by itself, and it comes from the heart. It's an energy that the name is scalar, is to increase, because it's increasing energy. It never dies. It's going to expand all the time. And the other energy, that is a vortex energy. The vortex is going to devour energy. It's going to suck energy like a black hole. That's the energy that we are involving, living in this lifestyle, in the predator lifestyle. Actually, our soul is energy, and it's made of silicon quantum energy. It's the real fuel, because we have to notice that there is difference between soul and spirit. So the spirit actually is the energy. The soul is the energy. And we can use it in both ways. In a vortex, like everybody is using their souls like fuel, they are consuming in the vortex energy system, consuming and carbonizing that silicon energy. But we can use it for ascension instead, when we will change the frequency to the scalar energy. And the scalar energy is going to allow you to create your Merkaba body made of sound, because Merkaba is not made of light. I told you light is the illusion. It's sound. We are talking about frequencies. So when you start to use that silicon quantum energy that we call soul, that's the vehicle that we need to use in order to escape from this simulator, from this matrix, from this video game. Otherwise, we can't escape from here physically. You have to change your matter. You have to change the frequency. And the scalar energy is the key of everything. So basically, we have to realize that we are creating scalar energy, but we are consuming that scalar energy because we are turning into vortex energy in the lifestyle that we are following and practicing. That's why we have to stop eating, stop drinking, and stop fornicating, stop all the things that we are doing now, because we are sucking our own energy. And then the energetic beings outside, they are feeding and eating our own energy also. But first, you have to realize that you are stealing your own energy first. So the scalar energy comes from the cells, are batteries, and they have a very beautiful substance that we call melanin. But the real name of melanin is melody, because I told you everything is sound. It's not melanin, it's melody, because the melody is creating a frequency, a pattern of sound. And the melanin is the real battery of cells, and it's self-sustainable and autonomous and rechargeable. It's because it's in a loop of the toroidal field. It's recharging. It's generation, operation, and dissolution. Rechargeable. It's a loop. So melanin is sending that to the cells. That's why we are self-sustainable. We don't need to eat. The problem that we are blocking that energy with toxins and mucus and fungus and carbon with cooked food. And in that moment, when melanin is charging the cell is going to send an electric impulse with the right voltages. And that voltage is going to be measured and controlled by the magnetism of your heart. The heart is our coil, it's our main coil. Actually, our heart is made of one piece. It's like it had the shape of 8, like a infinitive symbol. In Spanish, we call helicoidal. Helicoidal in English would be, because it's a coil, but it's made of one piece. It's not different pieces. So this is the real thing. It's not just a pump, they call our heart. So it's the synchronizer that is creating this scalar energy, increasing in every pulse. So that's the real thing that we have to realize, that the scalar energy is the secret of everything. And we are producing scalar energy by itself. You don't have to do anything. Just have to save it. Say, I told you before, save energy, don't waste it. So the life is very simple. We don't have to do anything. The problem is that we have the concept and the program that, oh, you need to work, you need to sweat, you need to do hard work and blah, 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 bullshit. Wasting energy all the time. You have to do, you have to do, you have to do. No, we don't, we have to stop to do and observe and contemplate. Actually, our body works like that. You don't need to do something to breathe. And also your heart, you don't need to do something, it's mechanical. It's pulsing by itself. Your cells also is living by themselves. They don't need, you don't need to do something extra. The only thing that we have to do is produce some dynamical process like walking. Because when we are walking, we are producing piezoelectric system in order to regulate the electricity. That's it. But you don't have to do something special or extra. And also I told you, I'm going to tell you this. You don't have to practice pranayama, nothing. Everything is bullshit. Of course, if you want to do it, do it. It's because we are here to have fun, but it's not going to help you to anything. It's just to have fun. You want to dance, sing, practice yoga, pranayama, whatever, but it's not necessary. Of course, it's necessary in some point when we are very high intoxicated to perform some exercises and provoke movements. But otherwise, we don't need to waste energy. I told you, save energy. Scalar energy is the secret of secrets. And that's why our ancestors created pyramids around the planet, because they are quantum machine made of crystals and with very high conductivity in order to create and harvest energy from ether. And the ether is going to transform in sonic energy, in magnetic energy, and electric energy. So we are the same thing as within, so without. I told you, as above, so below. And that's why the system deactivated the pyramids around the planet because they knew that we can create harmony in the planet using those machines. Mexico and in Egypt and Siberia, around the planet, they are full of pyramids. And they are made to create scalar energy, this radiant wave, and expand it in order to maintain the collective consciousness in harmony and synchronized.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's yeah. The society, for example, in the physical exercises, there is a belief that we need really to do hard work exercises all the time, you know, this trend of the muscle, and like doesn't make any sense at all. It's like the best way is just to, like you say, saving the energy and just learn how to move that energy, learn how to see that energy, connect with that energy, but just saving it, not doing anything crazy, you know, so make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So
See,
that's
and also think about it, and not to do is the hardest thing to do. Nobody, I include myself, it's hard to be calm, to doing nothing, like just contemplate it, or just 1 hour to try to do nothing. And it's very hard because the mind is going to start to blah, blah, blah. So that's why when busy all the time. And also when I organize retreats, I organized at least 2 days of silence. And also this is another fasting, silence. Do not speak for 2 days or 3 and observe. And also 1 day, I explain to the people when they come, and I say, 1 day we're going to reserve 1 day to do nothing, but nothing. You can read books, you can see your telephone, nothing, just feel nature and take short walks, but that's it. Nothing.
And that day is the most difficult one for everyone. Yeah. Terrible, yeah.
Shit. But it's beautiful when people finish that experience, say, wow, I never passed through this experience, that be quiet for at least 1 day, and it's beautiful. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, noble silence is the best, really, when you practice it. And then noble speech, because if you don't have anything good to say, you just maybe be on silent. No, that is another thing to learn, to noble silence and noble speech. Eric, I don't know if you want to comment something. Or,
said,
at the time, I have.
If you don't have something, they say, if you don't have something better to break silence, don't break.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we are gonna wrap it up slowly, because we are about 1 hour 40 minutes into the webinar. So guys, do you have any more comments or questions for Roberto before we close it up? Roberto, so how long have you been following this path of Toltec wisdom?
Like 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you
started to practice the Mascali when I was very young.
And Mascali, is it a sweat lodge, or what is that?
Yeah, it's a sweat lodge. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But and then you got into this path from like a regular life, or you got some of this philosophy and viewpoints in your family?
no. I wish it happened like that, not with my family, but no. This is my individual path. No, I have to through that. Actually, I am the only one that I now my lifestyle, not that as well as I, but they are now starting. But now my family is like average.
Hmm. Okay, Roberto, and I also wanted to ask this Neo-Toltec philosophy and systems. Are they based on any kind of ancient materials that survived in the written form, or are they based on the oral traditions that were passed from generation to generation? Like, what is the basis? Because you call yourself Neo-Toltec, right? Neo, like new Toltec. But and then the idea is that it should be based upon the ancient traditions. Now, what exactly is it based upon?
Yeah, for sure. The Toltec, I told you, Toltec tradition is we have some books and the oral tradition and codex that express this path of naturism lifestyle, the naturistic lifestyle. In the Mayan text also, we can find that they practice a lot of fasting, a lot of another practices that we have survived through the time. But now I named this this new process like Neo Toltec, because now we are the new ones Toltecs, because we have updated that information, and that's my labor here.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, something. Okay.
Can you hear us, Roberto? We are about to close anyway, but.
Yeah. Okay, Roberto, can you hear us?
He's mute. You are mute. I don't know if you can hear us, but you are there, I think.
Yeah, Roberto, we cannot hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's fine. So you started. No,
but we have
muted.
some problems
Okay,
with the connection.
So I decided to.
Yeah.
So I decided to name this movement like Neo Toltec now for the modern times, for the necessities of our modern society. Information because 500 years ago we are not living the same situation like 500 years ago.
Right.
So now we have to update for the modern times and adapt other disciplines and another concepts from Ayurveda, from Tao. For me now, I am syncretism. I'm performing syncretism because now is the time to reunite everything, because we are talking about the same thing. We are not competition. We are talking about the same thing, and now is the moment that as this new humanity to remember and reintegrate the whole spectrum of the reality and the concepts of the around the cultures around the planet. And now that we have to take from here, from there, and reunite and reorganize wisdom from the past, because otherwise it's not going to work because I told you 500 years ago is not the same thing. They didn't have the same poison, the same toxin that we have today. So that's
Right.
why I call this movement Neo-Toltec, because now we are humanity in Toltecs, the new humanity that is going to start to remember how to live following the principles.
Okay. Okay, Soledad, so I think we lost him again, so you can just, I think that you can just tell him you can just close this webinar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's difficult to hear him well.
Yeah, maybe we can organize another one in the future
Ah.
where the connection would be better. Yeah, so you can just tell him that we will put all the details below the video.
Yeah, he's there anyway. Maybe if you want to close the.
Yeah, okay, Roberto. So anyway, we couldn't hear you so well, but we got the idea. We got the idea about the need for unification of different teachings in order to adjust it to our humanity of the 21st century. Now, Revital, would you like to ask anything?
Yeah, first of all, there were a lot of details that, I mean, it's hard to absorb it. Like also physical things, and you know, that you said we are about sound, and I realized that music really can change our mood, happy music, sad music. So maybe it's got to do with that. And another thing, just a philosophical question. I mean, how do you see the future, you know, with all how they're trying to, you know, get all these toxins into us in order to numb us, and so we don't connect with ourselves, we don't think clearly, we just consume and get more intoxicated. So do you have any optimistic how do you see the future? I mean, optimistic, pessimistic, or what's, you said yourself, because today we're surrounded with bombarded with more toxins, so it's not like it used to be 100 years ago, hundreds of years ago. So how do you see the future of humanity?
Yeah, Roberto, so are you with us? No, we lost him completely, Revital, so it might be, it's a good question, but it might remain an open question for the next time, or maybe he will be able to answer it.
Yeah, it's a topic that is good to talk about it, but sometimes you don't know how much you can talk about these things, you know. If you can mention some things around other things you cannot mention, because this is going to be in YouTube, so I don't know,
yeah, we need to yeah, but in general,
but we know about the words we can say and the words that we cannot say, and we
absolutely
use synonymous. But yeah, I think we lost, because Roberto loves to talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Without any filter, but yeah, I think we lost it.
Yeah, okay, guys, so let's just finish for now. Let's just, we'll put Roberto's contact information below this video, and we might invite him in the future again. So Soledad, just say thank you to Roberto for this webinar, and also thank you very much for the excellent hosting. So, and yeah, so guys, bye-bye.
Thank you, Eric, for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, can we? Yeah, he's there. I don't know if you want 1 minute more, Eric.
Let's see if you can hear us. If it works, yeah, no problem.
Roberto, are you there? Let's wait a couple of
No.
minutes.
Sí.
Yeah, Roberto, we were about
Sí, pero
to close
no los
because
puedo escuchar
we
bien.
lost you completely. See, yeah, we are here. Can you hear Revital question?
No.
Or can we Revital one minute if you can ask him again? Thank you.
Yeah, philosophically, I mean, you're so into what's going on and all the toxicity we are intentionally bombarded with in order to numb us, in order to disconnect us from one another, from ourselves, from one another, to just make us like zombies, right? So how do you see the future? I mean, what do you think is the future of humanity with all these toxicity and all these plans to turn us into robots or zombies? Or
Well, the future is up to us. We're going to decide. We don't have to leave that decision to the others, to the system. That's why they want to make us believe that. That's why they are bombarding us with those programs like zombie movies and programming series because they want that project, that reality, that they want to control us and programming everything that they want to project outside. But the real thing is to be aware that we can create our own reality. There is two things. There is the matrix reality, the reality of nature. We can't change that. I put you an example. No, we can't change the blue of the sky, or we can change the algorithm of the nature. That's impossible. But the thing that we can change is our own reality. We have to realize that you are very powerful to change your line time. So that decision is going to be in our own charge, that, and also it's our responsibility. The thing is, and also in the Toltec traditions, we say that we have to stop to be victims and start to be responsibles. Of course, we were victims of the system. It's impossible, no? Because we were in this matrix as slaves and very high programs with our mind and emotions. But as adults, it's 100% our responsibility to change that. Because now we are highly aware of that. The problem that we are sleeping and we don't have to move from our comfort zone. And we are giving our power outside and waiting that a messiah of the politicians, of the economists, of the scientists, they are come to save us. No, stop that and save yourself first. Every labor begins with your own self-transformation. And the best way to defeat system is stop to participate in the predator way. Stop to consume all the things that told you that we need to consume, especially junk food, cooked food, meat, processed food, and alcohol, drugs, whatever. And also taking control of your sex life, no? Your control of fornication and that stupid things that we are doing because they told us that it's natural. So the system controls us by two means: food and sex. So that's the two things that humans can control: the things that they eating and the things that they are fornicating. So now it's time to be responsible, and we are going to project the future that we want to. Of course, the future that you are telling is going to happen because now Matrix is going to divide into, it's going to split into linear times. So it's going to be our decision what path you are going to pass. No, you're going to run through. So now it's individual decision. If you want to go to the zombie life, actually in the Bible, they say, let the death bury the death. So let the zombies eat the zombies. Don't participate more in the land of the dead. We have to participate in the land of the living creatures. And also one thing is sovereignty, because when you are not sovereignty, you are a dead woman, because you are participating with a strong woman, with the fiction, with the laws of the sea, with the character of the person, of your passport, your ID, because actually person in Greek means mask. So we are not persons. The persons is the dead man, the dead woman. So that's another way to start to stop to participate in the stupid thing that the system are forcing you to participate. Like to vote is a stupid thing, because our countries actually are corporations. Corporations come from the word corpse. It's a death entity, and they are private corporations. So when you vote, you're not voting for nothing, because they are private corporations. They're going to put the manager that they wanted. So this is just such a charade. We are participating in a world of charades and deception and fake everything. And also is the land of the death. That's why in Mexico we celebrate the Day of the Death, because of this, not just because some people die. Now I'm remembering our ancestors. It's part of that, but no, the real thing is that we have to stop to participate in the world of the dead. And also, if the people eat dead animals, it's also you're participating in a ritual of death. So that's the point of this, to be responsible, and we have to leave behind that system of death and start to participate in the system of life, eat life, and start the process that I told you before. And when you leave behind those habits like eating, drinking, fornicating, whatever, we're going to be free. Because actually, when you ask somebody, why are you working for? Because I need to eat. I need to put the bread on my table. And listen well, bread. We don't need to eat bread. It's just another program, no? That you need to eat processed food and things that we can digest, like flour and all the things, cereals. And this is poison, because gluten is glue. It's going to stick your cells, and it's going to block your energy. So that's why the programs also know the bread, and also in the Bible, no, Jesus give the bread. No, why the Bible never mention fruits? Give us today the fruits. No, give us the bread. We have been controlled by our intestine, by our gut. So actually, the word God is similar than God, because everything is there, no? So at the moment that we realize that we are self-sustainable, we are God and goddesses, and we are the source in self, we don't need nothing outside. And that's the moment that we are going to start create our own reality in parallel, separated from the realm of the zombies. So now the solution is up to us. We have to decide. We have to be brave to start the path of the warrior. In the Toltec tradition, they say the path of the warrior. The path of the warrior is the path of the self-transformation, becoming that Christ, in that Krishna, in that Quetzalcoatl, in evolution. Change the frequency, escape from the duality, and escape from the density. Go back to your heart, to unity. And I told you before, clean your avatar. Your body is your temple. Otherwise, it's going to be impossible. Everything begins, every revolution, listen well, every revolution begins with health. Otherwise, it's impossible, because when you are sick, you don't have vitality, you don't have energy, you don't have your clear mind. Because remember the phrase, clean body, clear mind. If your body is dirty, your mind is going to be very dirty, and it's going to create very dirty emotions. And emotions means energy in motion. You're moving energy. Why kind of energy? Electricity. And we are not creating the right electricity, the right voltage, and we are creating short circuits in our own body, and that's why we have the problems. So that's why we have to be very clear about this, that every revolution begins with health, and start to practice the lifestyle fasting all the time, and start to practice intermittent fasting every day, and then start to practice and practice more. The practice make the master. There is no another way. And then you're going to realize that less is more. And then we're going to start the second part is start to create self-sustainable communities, practicing permaculture, bioconstruction, and start to produce our own energy, our own community, and finally, sovereignty. And the sovereignty is going to come alone by itself, because now we want to change the frequency and the system. We are going to be invisible for the system. The police is not going to stop you anymore. The bad things of the system is you're going to avoid it, because you are vibrating in another frequency. So that's very easy. You don't have to fight against the system, the judges and the police, and no, because now you're going to be in another frequency. You're going to be subtle in another level. You're going to escape from density. So to finish, I think that I'm going to leave you this message. 3 aspects start to practice: health, permaculture, and sovereignty.
Okay. Beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. Thank you, Roberto. And Roberto, we are going to put your contact details below this video. If people want to contact you, you please send to Soledad all your contact details you would like to appear below the video. We'll put them. And yeah, and we might have you another time for another webinar if you want. We could do that. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Soledad. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.